Hey everybody, it's your girl Lady Couture, the voice of all media diva. This is the Couture Experience, and I am super excited because I finally tracked my friend down because he is so booked and busy.
You about to be real dramatic. Jesus Christ.
So this is my good friend Theo from the just the popular podcast. Please don't irk
Mhm.
me. He is everywhere in the streets, in the studio, on tour, bookings, like all of those things.
What's up? She is lying about. My Lord, y'all. Please don't. But listen, God, listen, do
Just
it
do
for
it for
me.
me.
I'm
Right.
receiving that right now. I'm receiving
Right.
it and claiming it right now. Amen. My
Absolutely. I
Lord.
receive it. Listen, receive it. And it's also your birthday. So, again, happy
Yes.
birthday to you.
Thank you
Many,
so
many blessings
much.
and more. Um, so I brought you here today, as we discussed before. We before we record or whatever, but it's misogyny. That
Mhm.
is a huge topic on TikTok, on Instagram. Like everybody has
Everywhere, to be
think pieces
honest.
like everywhere.
Mhm.
And it's just like with the height of where this country is right now.
Mhm.
You have also a lot of it's in music, it's in
Mhm.
politics, it's in entertainment and things like that. So, my first question is when you hear the word misogyny, what is your definition
You
of
know what? At first, when I first heard the term, I thought it was something very sexual. That
mm,
was like my first thing because it sounds like a little massage, it sounds like a
menage?
massage in there. But then when I looked it up, it's really pretty much talking about how things can be very untruthful, how things can be very unfair.
Hmm.
So when you said, misogyny in the music industry, I was just like, well, I mean, that's across the board everywhere. Like it's
Hmm.
just not in the music industry, it's in film, it's in, content creating, it's in podcasting, like it's in everything. So,
Hmm.
but that was my first thing that I thought of when I first heard the word. I was like, oh, are we talking sexual or something like that?
Right, right. Like not menage a trois, but
Right,
massage.
right.
Fine. So, and it's a good thing because you have your podcast, and you also have another podcast as well.
Yes.
Um,
With
and
my best friend called I'm Not in the Mood podcast.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood. I love it. It's just like, please don't irk me. I'm not in the mood. Like, I love it. I love it, and I love
Because people irk me because I'm never in the mood, and I ask y'all to do one thing is not irk me, but I put a please in front of it to
please.
be nice, my lord.
Like, please, exactly. And so, um, with you being doing podcasts, and I know you've watched other podcasts, whether it be
Yeah,
with male or female, and as you can see, it seems like as far as with the male podcast, they get more. It's like the exposures or like the things that they talk about, like
it's wild.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. What is your take on that? Like, is misogyny like within podcasting? Like, what is especially with you being on I'm Not in the Mood with your best friend
Hmm.
is female.
Hmm.
How would you all like basically manage to handle like or if you face misogyny, like let's say for example, like with production,
Hmm.
and it's like, well, they're giving you a pass, but they're giving her a hard time.
Hmm.
How would you handle something like that?
Well, first and foremost, I protect women at all costs. That's really number one, especially black women. Like, and we're talking about all types of women because there's some people who say like, well, cisgender women. Okay, a woman's a woman. Praise the Lord. Okay, so my thing is, if somebody came with my best friend about something that they didn't agree with, okay, first of all, you can go to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can block me as well if you don't agree with some of the things that we say. But on our podcast, like we get deep, but we get deep about our lives. We get deep about our situations. It really would never be something about talking about somebody else's life in like a negative way,
Right.
unless they're trying to be messy, like somebody like Tamar Braxton, like somebody that could be like messy like that and things like that. But when I look at other male podcasts, I'm just like, I always can tell by like the first 10 or 15 minutes if this is going to be good or not.
Mm.
Like the one podcast, No Fugazi podcast, I don't know how that's still standing.
Right,
Or the podcast, the Fresh and Fit podcast, because those are literally targeted to women and to make them feel less than and to
right,
pretty much honor the man. When at the same time, men are supposed to honor women in general.
right,
If that's your wife, if that's your girlfriend, if that's your fiance, if that's your friend,
right.
if that's your homie, you're supposed to protect them at all costs and make sure that you hold their feelings valid
Mm-hmm.
at every single point. So for me, I never ever will be in a room with somebody that will ever talk about women in a negative light because obviously that's not the room I'm supposed to be in. And,
Right.
and that's not a crowd that I want to be a part of as well. So when I do see some podcasts, I'm just like, okay, so what is the point of this? And
Mm-hmm.
also, what are you teaching your listeners and your subscribers? You're teaching them to hate women.
Right.
You're
Right.
teaching them to go against women. And at the same time, we need women.
Yeah.
My Lord.
Okay.
Because unless you're going to have some hand time, you're going to need a woman.
Please don't hurt me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. I go back. I go back. I go back.
No, no,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no. And
But
you,
like
but you're
these
right
same
though.
people that you go for,
Right.
these same people that you be like, yo, shorty, and then you get them in your presence and you disrespect them
Right. It
or
doesn't.
demean them, like that's weird to me
That's
because
why. That's
now,
diabolical.
yes, and now I think your wrist is broken, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Praise the
Mm-hmm.
Lord.
Praise the Lord. Ah. So in the podcast world, and again, like you have yours, that's where you're by yourself, and then you have like the one with your best friend. How do, because I've seen podcasts where they have the men and the women,
Mhm.
they do, together.
Mhm.
And like you said, was it the Fresh Fit?
Fresh
Like how
fit, yeah.
he talks to, like, I don't know if some of those women are his co-hosts. I can't even remember because I just see clips. I can't sit and
No,
watch
so
it.
like none of them are co-hosts. They're literally just guests that he brings on that
Okay.
are pretty much like popular females in the Instagram world. The
Right.
ones that kind of like show their bodies a lot, and he pretty much like degrades them right there in their face.
Yeah, I have seen that. So, okay. So, in a prime example, like, I don't know if you watched the Joe Budden podcast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and they have Melissa Ford.
what's up,
To
Joe?
me, I kind of feel like to me, I kind of feel like they kind of push her out. I guess like kind of like from what I've seen so far. So it's like with you and your best friend, how do you all come up with topics, or how is it that, you got, because I mean you guys have a rhythm. You both
Yeah,
have a good
thank you
rhythm.
so much. Thank
It's
you.
like you bounce off of each other, but you both of you don't try to, I'm trying to say, push the other out.
Oh
It's just
no,
like,
never
yeah.
that. No.
So it's like, how do you all, especially like, how they say, like, you really can't work with your best friend like that. How
Right.
do you, how do you all make this work? What is it that, what is your, I'm trying to think of the word. What is it that chemistry? What do y'all do? Because it's just like, it's like when I watch y'all, I'm like,
Well, we've been friends for over 20 years.
okay.
So, we've been friends ever since we were like 13 or 14. So,
Hmm.
we've been in this for some time,
Yeah.
So we had our ups, we had our downs, but I love how we always communicated when I felt offended or when she felt offended. Like
Okay.
we wouldn't let it just like go by because first of all, I'm not the type of person. If something irks me, I'm gonna say it. Now, I might not say it right then and there, but I'm gonna wait for the right time because I don't want to sit with it too long. I don't want it to be like, um, I don't know, like if I have a problem with you, we're gonna work this thing out as
Right.
friends. Like, and she's like my best friend. She's like my sister.
Hmm.
So that's where the chemistry comes from. When we come up with topics and things like that, we pretty much bounce off of each other. So like, let's say that it's like I'm hosting that specific episode, then it's pretty much the way that I kind of want the show to go. But I still hit her up and be like, hey, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Just so that she knows that like I value her opinion. Because at the same time, it's not my show. It's not her show. It's our show. And we do this together. So even if a topic is getting a little, too I guess, too deep, not for us about what we're talking about, we'll kind of be like, you know what, I'm not even going there. We just gonna leave that out. But we respect each other, especially with her being a mother, with her being a wife,
Mm,
with her, take care of her household, make it. She has a job and things like that. We're both salary. With me, the content creating, we respect each other so much that there would never be a time that I would ever talk against her or call her out her name.
mm,
That's just like ridiculous. And anybody that does, you can line it up as well because I'm trying to understand who we talking to. Men only, of course, but like who are we talking to? So I defend her at all costs. That's my best friend. Like I know this is to infinity and beyond.
mhm.
So that's where the chemistry comes from because we can literally sit in front of a camera and talk. And
All
that could
day.
just be like the podcast. But I love that we bring in, different topics. I would never tell her like, oh, that's a dumb topic. No, like tell me, let's go a little deeper into it.
Mhm,
Let's figure out why you want to kind of talk about it, and then we can branch questions off of that.
mhm.
So I love doing it with her. There was never a time I told her on one episode there is never a time that we get in front of these mics that I will never get sick of it. Like there's healing inside of that room when we talk and when we laugh with each other, things like that. Like those 2 hours or that hour and a half. Like sometimes I even told her, you don't know. Sometimes these episodes save my life.
You and that's and I'm gonna be honest, it does because when y'all start off and y'all just have like, how's your day or
Mhm.
whatever topic, and I'll be sitting there like, oh, this is about to get deep.
No, no, because we value each other's mental health as well. Because that's
Right,
the first thing that we talk about. How are you mentally on a scale from 1 to 10? And be honest, because even on the first episode, I made it comical, but I was just like, yesterday I was at a 2, and today I'm at a 3.
right.
But and then we still talk about it because we don't want each other. We don't want to leave that space knowing that we didn't uplift each other and make each other feel good by the time we're walking out the door together and getting in our separate cars and going about our separate lives. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I love it. I really do.
thank you.
I really, really do. Yeah, it's in it's not too many podcasts that are, I mean, there's a few along with you all, but it's not that many, and we do need more podcasts like that because
Yes.
it's just kind of like podcasting is, like I said, it is misogyny in
Hmm.
podcasting
It
and
is.
in podcasting
It's a
and
lot of it
radio.
too.
And right. And
All
it's
just
just,
for views.
yeah, right. It's just, and that's what I think a lot of men do this misogyny, whether it be on podcasting or online. They do it for clicks and views.
Hmm.
So moving outside of the podcast, and I've asked other people with politics,
Mm.
like the this election,
Ah,
misogyny all over this election in 2016,
yeah.
Kamala and Hillary. And my thing of it is, what is it that you would suggest? Because now, I mean, you still have it because you know how they're coming at Jasmine Crockett,
Yeah.
coming at a lot of, especially Black women.
Yeah.
What is it that you would say to, about like everything that has been going on? Like, and I know because I know you paid attention and you see
Of
everything
course.
going on. What is your, what is your take on it, like with the misogyny in politics?
Well, right now I kind of think politics is a joke because at
Mm,
this point I kind of don't know what I kind of don't know what's the light at the end of the tunnel. Like I don't see it. Like I really don't.
mhm,
And like I'm okay with disagreeing with you. Like me and you can have a disagreement, or we can agree to disagree, but it would never get disrespectful.
yeah.
And I think that, when people have a phone, when people can press record and people can say whatever they want, and, it's freedom of speech and things like that, but like it's still hate speech. It's
Mhm.
still speech that can hurt somebody else's feelings. So right now, when I look at politics, especially when the married couple, when you have Elon and Trump, out here acting like they were together and sleeping in the same bed and having a good time together, frolicking through the fields, holding hands. I'm trying to understand, like, what is the purpose, and and to be honest, what is these 4 years going to bring at the end? Because to me, you kind of want to talk about, well, you say that you want to talk about it, but dictatorship, taking away people's freedom. ICE is out here scraping up any old person,
Yeah.
not even the right people. We're talking U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to understand what's at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like, what are we going to see that's going to make the world better? Because obviously, when you have platforms and you have people who are just talking against each other and making each other feel less than, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, what
That's
are we
true.
achieving? What are we going to accomplish together
Yeah.
to move forward? Because obviously, we're not moving forward.
And see that is where I'm coming to with the question of, because I feel, to me, in my opinion, misogyny played a big part, because it was men were going to lose power to
Mhm.
a woman, even though she had a male vice president. But it was just these type of men, like, oh no, we can't have that.
Mhm.
No. And it's just kind of like that whole misogyny bubble got so huge. And it's just
Mhm.
like, with that. So it's just, I mean, you say there's not a lot at the end of the tunnel. So what can we do? And I know we will never ever get rid of misogyny.
No.
That will always be there. But what can we do moving forward to minimize it, at least, or just kind of bring it down a little bit?
Mhm.
Or, because like I said, it's never going to go away. So what can we do?
I think it all starts with, reading an article, picking up a book, getting to know your neighbor for who they are.
Hmm.
Stop judging people off of their looks. Stop judging people off of the things that they say, because everything can be ended with a civil conversation. But I think that somebody doesn't want to understand somebody else's side, that they're so focus on what they believe and what they think that it's impossible for them to understand somebody else's side. And I think that if we all started with just, understanding somebody else, like a white person understanding a black struggle,
Hmm.
it can start with something as simple as that. It could
Yeah.
be somebody, stepping outside their comfort zone and going to a community to, hand out some food.
Yeah.
It could be something that simple. It could really be some of these cops out here putting out videos and things like that, talking about and standing with some of these victims that went down, and not standing with the actual police department that they know did wrong.
Because
There
there's
are too many people
misogyny in
that
that.
have
Yeah.
died. Too many people that have died, and then trying to put that person in a bad light to make sure that they look bad and the cop looks good.
Right.
Where are the cops that's going to stand up for the victims?
Yeah. That's true. It's just.
Where are the people that's going to stand up for their people? And sometimes we vote some of these people into these offices, and they say that they're going to do this for the community, they're going to do this for black people, they're going to do this for the LGBTQIA community, they're going to do this for people who are less than and things like that. Why didn't it happen yet?
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of feel like it's like people who, especially voting against their own interests, it's like they want to keep the misogyny going.
Yeah,
They want to keep it in, and it's not even just with just
that keeps
politics.
politics heated.
Right, exactly. And
Hmm.
then if you look in the entertainment, and of course everybody says in hip hop, of course, you have men that sexualize women, and then you have with Megan the Stallion, you have the Megan and Tory, you have the Diddy situation, you have
Hmm.
all of these men in power. And it just goes all the way back to the beginning where you had women being video vixens and they were sexualizing them.
Hmm.
So it's like, as far as like we've got the politics part to how to minimize that, how can we do that as far as in music as well? How can women, because it's like they tell women, oh no, you can't have kids. That's going to ruin your career. And then you got somebody like
Hmm.
Nick Cannon and Cam Newton that's over here spreading their wild oats all over the place. So, so it's like, how come
Wild Oats is really crazy.
it's diabolical? How can Cardi B? How can it be a problem for Cardi B to have three children by one man? But it's not. It's a problem. It's not a problem for Nick Cannon and other men in the industry. Like, so what can we do to where it can women can go forward? In music as well.
I don't even know if that could even be a thing.
Mm.
I don't even know. And that's me being totally honest because usually I can give a very knowledgeable answer, but
Right.
I really don't think that that's something that could ever happen where
Mm.
women are getting the respect that they deserve. I really just don't see it or valuing a woman just as much as a man. Like, of course,
Mm.
we know that a man is supposed to lead and things like that, but like some of y'all aren't even out here with leader qualities or leader skills and things like that. So if you guys are leading the way, how do you expect a woman to kind of go with the flow of it
Yeah.
without her having an opinion about something? And then before you know it, then they just like, oh, she's a problem and she's this or she's that. And it's just like, no, I'm just speaking my mind. Same thing that happened with we could take it back, when Maya first came onto the scene,
Yeah.
she was working with Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, trying to come at her. They were just like, hey, like they were trying to get at you. So Maya was like, I'm just here to work. Like, I don't know what you guys think this is. And then Jay-Z thought that it was like her having an attitude. Now, this is no shade. This is public knowledge. Like anybody can
Yeah.
look this up. And
Yeah.
love Jay-Z, love the Carters, everybody knows. And obviously that was like 20, 30 years ago, right?
Right.
And obviously people change. But what I'm saying is if it was happening back then I know that it's happening even more
It's
today
happening even worse now.
because now we have and to be honest I think we're in an age that we have a lot more female artists that are excelling and doing well, and
Yes.
then you have men that's probably looking at that like, how does Meg the Stallion have 3 or 4 Grammys? I don't even have one yet. Like, how did a black female rapper get a best new artist Grammy? now
Mm-hmm.
now they're offended because they're just thinking like, well, if she could do it, I can do it. No, she just came in at the right time
And she
to
put in the
to make it
work.
happen.
Right.
Yes, and she's very successful and she's beautiful, she's talented. So I always think that like men are going to look at it like, well, how is she getting this success? I'm not getting it. Like, I'm the man, I'm
Yeah.
supposed to get this. But like I really don't think that there will ever be a time where like the misogyny will ever go away in the music industry. I think that would just never happen. Music
That'll just
industry and
say.
politics, I just don't think that could ever happen because it's too far in the trenches for it to
Mm.
come out. It's entirely too far. Too
Yeah.
many people already got their minds made up about too much already. People already thinking the way that they think. And even if you have a 40 or 50-year-old man, probably already set in their ways, don't even want to think outside of what they're already thinking. So
Right.
I really don't think that will ever happen. Am I sad about it? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I want it to happen? Yes, of course. But I really don't think that the needle will never move in the direction of misogyny not happening towards women in the action music industry. I think that could never happen.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic. Like, yeah, if
I
we,
try. I
I try,
try.
but it's like, but you're right though. You are definitely right that it's gonna always be there, and I feel that it's to me it just keeps growing and growing, and
Hmm.
it's sad at this point.
Right.
It's just like, well, dang, you can't. And I understand the hip hop or all the music genres across are men dominant.
Yeah, it
And
is.
it's pretty much everything is male dominant, you
Yeah.
know? And so it's like when they see a woman come in, and there are some men that will accept it. There are some men
Right.
like, hey, she doing her thing. But then you have these others over here who have to take the red pill, who are like, no, who are like, no, no, no. And I'm just like,
No, really.
it's just really, really sad. But that's a good take on what you said. Like it's never gonna go
And
away.
I feel bad though, y'all. I don't want y'all to think I'm like, trying to be
Debbie Downer. No,
yeah, like a Debbie Downer or anything like that. Because
but no,
I'm
it's true.
very optimistic. Like,
Yeah.
I really try my best to want the best for everybody. And I want the
Right.
best for every situation. And I
Yeah.
believe that that's what my platform is all about. I'm all about laughter, joy. I'm all about collaborating with people.
Yeah.
So for me, I love collaborating with women. I love collaborating with guys. Even,
Yeah.
listen, anything in between. Okay, it doesn't matter as long as we walk away from that podcast or that meeting or that table or that interview feeling good about what we talked about. I don't care who it is.
That's true. That's
But
true.
not everybody thinks like me. I mean,
Right.
even with me being a guy
Yeah.
and other guys seeing me or seeing that I have feminine traits, they're probably already going to be like, "Oh no, I ain't trying to fool with him." When
Right.
at the same time, I'm not even looking at you. You're not even my type. Promise you.
Please don't
You're
irk
not
me.
even in the text bracket I'm looking for.
please,
My Lord.
please don't irk me. I'm not doing
Okay.
it. Oh my God. Theo, I thank you so much. I'm not going to hold you any longer because I know you got to get out of here. And I
Oh,
want you to let everyone know where to follow you, your social media and stuff like that.
y'all can follow me at Please Don't Irk Me. That's me on every platform. You'll see
Mhm.
me irking somebody, irking, even with you. I did an episode with you on my first season. Episode 9. I was so excited. Actually, I was scared to ask you because I was just like, you think she gonna say yes, Theo? And when you say yes, I was like, oh, now it's really about to happen. Shout out to Uncle Kyrie for
Yes,
even making that happen. So I'm just
yes.
like super excited. So yeah, you'll find me on Please Don't Irk Me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. What's the other one called? All these new ones, Threads, Facebook. You
Blue
can find me
sky,
anywhere. You can
all of
find me
that.
Lemonade. Listen, you can find me. You can find me anywhere. I will be there for you guys and to hope to bring you laughter, to bring you joy. And hopefully, y'all can just come to my page when you're feeling stressed out, when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling down, when you had a bad day. Just come on over to the Please Don't Irk Me show, and I promise you, I make you laugh. I make it do what it do.
I am a living witness. I can testify to that because listen, I can definitely testify. Theo, I love you.
I love you
Thank
too.
you so, so much. You enjoy your birthday because, like I
I
said, I know you booked
will.
and busy. So
Listen, this already was great for my birthday. Trust me, great.
I love it. All right, everybody. Again, it's your girl, Lady Couture, with my brother Theo here at the Couture Experience. Thank you so much again. I love you so much.
I love you too.
All
Mwah.
right, have fun.
All right.
All right, bye.